This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
It's a Rothadiscus Lariat!
The huge suplex!
Welcome to Thoughts Count Anywhere. I'm Scott Hosey, the host today.
Ah.
And I've got my co-host here at the desk, or desk. We got Jason Piper. We got Matt Mullen. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Good, good.
It's been a crazy day. I'm glad to get out of downtown and behind this microphone.
Yeah, there we go. And I've successfully gotten rid of 2 hosts of the show. Hi, Aaron. Anyway, Aaron Phillips is on vacation, well deserved, down in I think Tahoe, if I'm not, or Havasu, one of
Lake
the lakes.
Havasu.
Havasu. So, yeah, down I guess would be Havasu, up would be Tahoe.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Thoughts Count Anywhere. We are here. It's Wednesday night. It's 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 if you're on the East Coast. If you want to call in, it's 855-502-4321. Got to figure out which camera I'm on right. There we go. And in the Las Vegas area, it's 702-329-6947. We have a lot to talk about, including some very interesting pop culture topics that you've come up with. So, let's get started with I Hear Voices. So, Brock Lesnar's match for SummerSlam possibly canceled because they do not want to waste a Brock Lesnar match on an empty arena to possibly face Edge with an injury playing it well into the decision. I'm sorry, Brock, does anybody care anymore?
Nope.
Nope.
And, you know, I look down and you put in there that, you know, Brock Lesnar has appeared, 45 times? Or his 45th birthday or something like that?
His 43rd birthday. It's his least amount of matches he's had in WWE.
In the last 15 years, and made more than all of us combined 5 times, 10 times over. So, continuing on, Paige Van Zant losing her latest UFC match. She could be heading to WWE at possibly SummerSlam. Matt, your thoughts on that?
She'd be a pretty good person for WWE. She's got the look, she's got the athletic skills and dancing background. So I think it's something she could pick up pretty quick. And I think she's a fan because a couple years ago they approached her about doing something at SummerSlam and she was totally game for it. But a fight came up, so she couldn't do it. So.
Well, don't you think that possibly having her with, Baszler, with possibly, Ronda Rousey might have a good trio there in some form or another, either as a stable or against each other with the UFC backgrounds?
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Jason? You're not in your cage today. You can talk.
I know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. You're in my chair. I got graduated to the big chair.
No, Paige Van Zant does. She fits really well with Ronda and Shayna. She has that background. Unfortunately, Dana White saying what he said about her was not politically correct.
Do you
but-
think the WWE fans and the wrestling fans know who she is? Ronda Rousey's a household name. Do you
She
think-
was up there for a little while. She was like the poster child for women's MMA for about a year when she was
Right.
like pretty unstoppable. Once she started losing, it kind of tapered off. But she's got the look Vince likes, little blonde girl, athletic.
You mean Shane?
Wasn't she also a part of
Yeah, we won't be
Ultimate
put-
Fighter?
No, she was too young.
Too young at the time.
But she was already signed before they even.
Okay,
She was signed before the Ultimate Fighter. She was too young to be even aired.
gotcha.
This is not going to be a politically correct show with Aaron out here. You know that,
No,
don't you?
it's not. It's gonna be.
It's gonna hit the rails quickly, fellas.
Exactly. And we have our guy behind the mirror, the window, our producer, Aaron Elikis. And he's doing what? He's showing me a phone from across the room. He's sharing our show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Flash. He has no clue. But anyway, I see a few people in our chat room tonight. Yes. I'm waiting for Chief to call in or Aaron to call in and say I'm, sucking on the microphone. So, yeah, I know he's watching somewhere. Okay, Chris Chandler is in our chat room of Chadman Designs, who does all my flyer and also the custom 8x10. So I'll shout out there for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He does good work.
So we're done with Out Here Voices. There wasn't much in the rumor mill except what today? WrestleMania. About WrestleMania possibly moving.
Oh, a SoFi Stadium being like delayed
Yep.
due to the COVID and
California's rules.
California rules saying that there's no like mass gatherings. They need a plan B and they need one kind of
Quickly.
quickly.
Because you're looking at what? Late April, 1st of May.
Yeah.
And you got to start planning all that stuff. Well, before I came in to the show here, I did hear that Tampa was awarded. And if any city deserves it with possibly missing their WrestleMania this year, Tampa would deserve it, in my opinion. Trouble is, Florida's the top hotspot now that Nevada has gone down just a tad.
Now that we gone down, we do have a Raider Stadium that's kind of done. Kind of with nothing to put in it.
Yeah.
Kind of
exactly.
slow during April.
Hint,
Just
hint,
saying.
wink, wink.
Yeah, Garth Brooks. I know somebody with tickets. Me. I don't think I'm going to that concert, obviously.
Can watch it via YouTube probably.
Hasn't been canceled yet.
Hasn't been canceled. So the other thing is, when you speak of Raider Stadium, a lot of the teams are saying the NFL is allowing 18 to 20% of their fans. So how do you figure that out? Put a big hat and let them draw numbers or something?
Season ticket holder number 252.
How would you?
Raider fans draw EBT cards.
If Aaron's watching, it's Matt at thoughtscountanywhere.com.
At me, I don't care.
Yes. So
Bring it.
once again, and I keep looking up at the teleprompter now, and it still has Johnny has posters at the show. Yes, I'm calling you out, 'cause I don't know who Johnny is and he has posters at what show. Anyway, 855-502-4321. You want to talk some pro wrestling, give us a call, 855-502-4321, and locally, 702-329-6947. And if you want to join in on the Twitter, it's #thoughtscountanywhere.com.
Hashtag old man.
Yeah,
Hashtag.
exactly. Yeah, I am the old man.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Yeah. All right, it's a pound sign to me.
Hashtag.
Hashtag. Okay.
And on
How
that,
thoughts count.
Do
That's
you-
great.
Do you two want to be fired also?
Thread me with a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
I brought you in, man.
you're on your own there, man. I have a store that I run that I could get fired from.
Hey, Matt, you want a job? All right.
And just like that.
Yeah, no, just like that, our view counts have gone up, and I know who's watching us. We're having fun, okay, Dad?
Dad?
Anyway, let's go on to the WWE report now. I didn't ask you to ring the bell yet. We'll put you back in your cage. Yeah.
No.
Monday marked the 5th year anniversary since Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha debuted in WWE. Between all 10 Raw championships, 10 SmackDown championships, 4 NXT championships, and 2 tag team championships. Huh.
They dominated much in the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Where's Bailey in all that mix?
She showed up like a couple months after the fact.
yeah.
But between those three, they have put on some damn good matches, and they did put the women's roster much higher than it's ever been.
You're looking at close to 30 championships between those three.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
No, the
In a 5-year stretch, I mean,
the Hell in a Cell match with Sasha and Charlotte was one match that was just off the charts. They both exceeded way beyond expectation for that match.
That whole string of matches between Charlotte and Sasha was, especially like that thought with a falls count anywhere
Yeah.
when she had her in the bank statement, like in the like
On
aisle of the
on
thing,
the stairs,
like,
on the stair,
on those stair
the
things.
stair-
Yeah. That was cool. So
moving on.
Moving on.
Yes. Sasha said on Twitter, her and Bailey want to face Trish and Lita at SummerSlam. Why?
Again.
they need some kind of nostalgia with like Raw ratings as low as they are and everything else.
Wrestling in
It's-
general has been very stale over the past 4, 5, 6 months during the whole COVID thing. I don't think they don't realize that how much the crowd and the fans mean to them in the ring to play off the crowd, the chanting, the noise. Why are we flipping channels?
Just haven't found something better. Huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
If it was for a title match,
Yeah, he's waving at me.
If it was for,
I think he was waving.
If it was for the titles, I mean, it would be good, but you need to have that crowd backing
Yeah,
the reason for it to be there,
exactly.
because it's just, yeah, here you have Trish and Lita. They are one heck of a tag team. They are really good together
In their day.
in their day, but give them a shot at the tag team titles, and if they so happen to win, there's no fans to cheer them on and give them that.
Well, also don't forget, doesn't the new generation supposed to get the push? So why are they trying to bury the legends all of a sudden?
Right.
What?
Well, it says the YouTube's not working.
YouTube is not working. Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay. So do you want to put up the little hashtag or little
The
QR
pound thoughts count
Yeah,
anyway.
the QR code.
You're not living that one down for a while.
Yeah, I won't. There we go.
Well, that you know how to point
Yes,
to.
I know how to point to this. See? It's right there.
Right.
He keeps changing. You know?
Got something to throw at
The
him?
producer does not like. There we go. It's right there.
Nope. There.
See?
Yep, there.
Right
Yep, there.
So that's a QR code. I know what that is. You take your phone, you take a picture of it, and it takes you right to where, Matt?
ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com.
The website of all wrestling knowledge.
Of wrestling news, podcast news, sponsorship information, all in one stop shop.
Yes. And I want to give you all the credit in the world for that website. That is, first of all, it's your baby, and I didn't think you could do such an awesome looking job. What?
Neither did I.
You have the mouse so you can go through and show the page.
Oh, okay.
It's a
I
mouse.
can get the mouse to work.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely.
Hit the pound sign.
You're right next to it. Have to dial 0 too.
Yes. How many people even know that there's letters on the touchpad of a phone? Not many. That's just like the store phone number. 702-482-7529. 7529 spells play. So 482-7529. 482 play.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, the website there is just freaking awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So you've done a great job, and if you have comments, criticisms, send them to Matt at thoughtscountanywhere.com or even info@thoughtscountanywhere, and you can come to. It gets
All of
emailed
us.
all of us, so we can see all your criticisms and comments.
I actually wouldn't mind people's criticisms on the website because I do want to make it better and
Better, stronger.
I think it looks
faster.
good, but it can always be improved.
Yeah, especially if it's on a
Fresh
different
set of
server.
eyes would help.
Yeah. No, all the comments and criticisms are taken, with a grain of salt here. We all laugh, as you see. We're having fun. I'm just wondering where Phil Cohen is, but that's okay. He's not watching either. Good. Yeah.
Well,
So, with that being said, let's move on to Extreme Rules, the horror show. Dun dun dun. Now, the question I have is horror show. Shouldn't they wait till October? Wouldn't it be more appropriate? Halloween.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But they're desperate for like
They're
people to
desperate
watch
for something.
anything.
Now, so this Sunday, Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. Your thoughts?
Drew McIntyre retains. But I'm kind of, they haven't like said what the stipulation is. Dolph Ziggler's not going to say until Sunday. So it could be interesting to see what he does, but I don't see Drew losing the title.
Some people were saying that they're just going to take it off him just to create some controversy. So, I mean, I think it would kill their ratings even more, but that's okay.
It is the one title that Dolph has never held.
Yeah. Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in a swamp fight, I think, is going to be the highlight of the entire card.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, what do you think of Bray Wyatt going back to his Bray Wyatt character? It seems like they scrapped the whole thing with the Fiend and just moved on.
I think just because of the history of Strowman and Bray, they went back to the original Bray Wyatt thing, but I think it's going to end with like the Fiend beating him for the belt.
The Fiend maybe coming out of the swamp or something of that nature.
They said this is a non-title match, so if like whatever happens, I can see like this feud ending with like the Fiend versus Braun Strowman.
I just don't like the stipulation of a non-title match in what is considered a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in an eye for an eye match. Why do I see the funny nose and glasses coming out? Little eyeball just popping out of the
I could see that.
Jason?
I'm thinking about the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors.
Treehouse of Horrors. I'm pretty sure that's where they're getting their script writing from right now because let's talk about it for a second, guys. We've said the ratings are down, WWE, and everybody's like, ooh, because AEW is kicking their ass. AEW's ratings are in the toilet also.
Yeah.
And we, talked about the crowd, lack of their, you can have all the NXT, talent in the background doing this, but what can they change? Your opinion?
They need to stop doing these
Squash matches,
house shows in front of
30 people.
NXT superstars, and just plug something else in there. Plug in replay matches if you want to. If you want to try,
They've started doing that because the ratings are so.
They did that on SmackDown. They replayed the Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt match from Money in the Bank.
It's no point bringing the wrestlers out and they're not doing anything to make it where it's interesting. It's way too predictable.
Well, the one thing I found interesting on the last show that I watched was he had Miz and Morrison doing an interview, and I think they need to do a little bit more of that. Be in between matches, do a true vignette, studio type atmosphere, and go from there. So right now we're going to pay some bills. I think, maybe a bill or two. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Thoughts Count Anywhere. I am Scott. That is Matt. That is Jason, and behind the keyboard over there is Aaron. We'll be right back.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
What's up, guys? It's Jeff Cobb here. Come check out Power Play Sports Collectibles. Buy some collectibles, buy some wrestling figures, and all that fun stuff.
For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard Mall.
We are back with Thoughts Count Anywhere, and thank you to our sponsors. We got Burnt Offerings, we got Power Play Sports Collectibles, and where are we at?
In the Boulevard Mall.
I like the hat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He doesn't support you.
I know. You're fired.
It's at the gallery.
Hashtag Galleria Mall.
Pound sign Galleria Mall.
Exactly.
Everyone still thinks we're there. So.
Yes, exactly. We are at the Boulevard Mall. We're open 11 to 7 every day. Jason's there most every day now. And I want to do a shout out to Linda. Get well. We want to see you back. Also, Leslie, Frank, Lori, Amy, Tabitha, Chloe, oh my God, I mispronounced my daughter's dog's name. Yes, exactly. It's, with Aaron not here, I'm all discombobulated.
He's here.
He's here.
In the cage.
He's watching.
He's right there.
Dun, dun, dun. He's in the cage.
That's where he belongs.
Yeah. I just want to know where he got the suit.
Because he never wears one.
No. And
If he comes back and says he was some kind of shark cage or something.
yeah, exactly. I thought he said he was at the gatehouse probably to duck out because the gate outside the studio here. I'm thinking, crap, he's coming to kick my ass. Where's Chief when I need him? Yeah, okay. So moving on. We were talking about the horror show. Ray and Seth, eye for an eye. Bailey versus Nikki Cross.
I think Bailey retains. I think at the end of the night, Bailey and Sasha end up holding all the belts.
And Sasha versus Asuka. Apollo Crews versus MVP.
Apollo retains and gets the new belt.
Yeah, MVP is basically a trainer there and just getting some TV time because of lack of talent because of the whole COVID thing. So
True.
Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus.
In a bar fight.
Like,
In his home
No bars
turf.
are open.
like we really need to go back in time with this whole drinking thing. And
First of all, I really think it's a slap in the face to Jeff. It's sort of like the whole Edge and Matt Hardy thing. Vince, stop bringing people's personal lives or whoever's your script writer because stop
Bruce
bringing
Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard.
Well,
Yeah. Stop bringing their personal demons, because there's enough demons out there right now. And
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. And we'll talk about another demon here shortly. But
Matt Hardy mentioned it
Yeah.
in one of his things that it's just not fair to Jeff. Jeff has been doing so much to try and get his life back on track
Yes.
with WWE, and we all have our own demons. Everyone does, and to bring it up in a storyline is just not. It's not fair.
no, it's not at all. And I want to do a shout out to Todd, the Viking from CAC.
Yes, sir.
I've got Doug Tishner, one of my old coworkers, and my cousin Todd back in Michigan. We've got a lot of people in our chat room tonight.
Nice.
More than normal. I wonder why that is. Oh, Aaron's not here. No, like you said, Matt came out very much public, on his Twitter. And, we love Matt Hardy here. He's always been great to
Absolutely.
us. And Jeff has always been great to us here also. Let the demons go, and focus on wrestling again.
And if your main goals are trying to get healthy and sober and all that, having it shoved in your face all the time,
Yeah.
it's not a way to get past it. It just keeps bringing
You don't
it
go to
back up.
AA and put a bottle on the table and say, pass it around for a few minutes, that type of thing. So
And it drew also too. It drew the thing of Jeff Hardy going, "Well, I'm back in the storyline with CM Punk,"
yeah, exactly.
and so it's just they need to think of new things because there's so much more you can do with Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. Sheamus is one heck of a wrestler. He's really good on the mic, and he's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
I think WWE bookings just got lazy because they have no competition. As much as people say they love AEW, they're still not even competing with Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
competing with NXT,
Is a minor league because they even say they're being called up to the main roster.
which basically, is their
being-
minor leagues.
they're minor
but
league.
they're not even comparing them to Raw or SmackDown. And if Vince doesn't have competition, he's just do whatever you want. But with WCW was around, and they started to beat him. Notice they had great storylines. and
Things changed.
Things changed
Yeah.
and for the better. So
It's WWE imploding.
if AEW can get their stuff together and create real competition, I think both shows would end up being better for it.
Exactly. Once again, don't forget you can watch us live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Go Live Vegas app, the Go Live Vegas website. I didn't even know that. Wow, we're all over the place. YouTube, maybe, and now Twitch. Where else can you find us, Matt?
You can follow the audio after it is uploaded tomorrow on all the podcast sites, and it'll also be on the YouTube, even though the live isn't working currently, apparently.
We have a nod from our producer. Aaron, you can always jump in on the microphone if you'd like. Everybody loves to hear your voice.
All right, here we go. Hey, how you guys doing?
If
Don't
you-
forget to subscribe. You have to click that little bell so you guys can get notifications. So when you go live, their phones go bing.
Yeah, click on the little bell. Let
Yeah.
us know you're
Okay. Next to the hashtag.
next to the pound sign, the little bell.
Alrighty.
The hashtag.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. Where's our bellboy?
Go ahead.
You've been missing us all the entire time. Next subject. Drake Maverick, reportedly done with WWE. Was the ink even dry on that contract?
Nope.
If it was a real contract.
What?
No.
Now that the storyline's over? Get
That's
rid
kind
of
of
him?
like, what was the whole point of that whole storyline to save his job? To be like, oh, you get beat up for 2 weeks, and now you're really fired. See ya.
Yeah, and you can call unemployment and be on hold for the next, 3
Whatever.
weeks. Yeah.
That's what kind of sucks because it's later on the run sheet, but everybody that got fired that day, their 90-day complete clause
Complete?
completed today.
Complete? You mean compete?
Non-compete clause. Yes.
Completed.
The complete is completed, right?
The complete is completed. Pound sign done.
Yes,
Pound sign
exactly. Along with John Cena, whose contract has now expired.
Shocker.
I'm surprised like Vince wouldn't hold on to him just in case.
I'm pretty sure if all it takes is, you dial a phone number, hit a pound, and you can get them.
Pound, you can't see me.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever numbers those are.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure, like Sting or any of the other legends, he's under some kind of legends deal in some regard. Or like Rock, just call him up and he'll be there.
Basically, like Undertaker said.
Yep.
Yeah, Vince gives me a call, I'll be there.
Well, Undertaker's got a 15-year contract, so
Right.
he ain't going anywhere. I'm pretty
Cena's
sure.
like the break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah,
which
like- yeah.
they're in an emergency now. Somebody
Yeah.
needs to show up.
Well, Rock needs to show up, and in my opinion, you bring Rock, you bring
Insta-boost.
Stone Cold Steve Austin in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right?
guaranteed rating draws.
absolutely. Especially on a Wednesday night, really stick it to him. And I talked about this before the show. How many people think Robert Stone is a comic image of Tony Khan?
I totally see that.
Yeah, I
I
think it's
agree.
a great parody that, it's like that Easter egg that you see. It's okay.
There'll be pictures of this at thoughtscountanywhere.com
Yes.
shortly.
Yeah, we're gonna put that up on the website. Side by side, Robert Stone Enterprises, otherwise known as
Robbie E.
yes, and Tony Khan, multi-billionaire, who's throwing away his money. But
Has
that's
anybody
okay.
ever seen those two in the same place at the same time?
Yes, that's amazing. That could be it. That's the link. That's the missing link we've been missing between the two organizations.
It's like Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Exactly. So, we were talking ratings earlier. Monday Night Raw drew 1.561. Why don't you say 1.56? 1 million fans, which made it the least watched Raw episode ever.
That's surprising. Like, not really surprising because of what's going on, but
Well, with
I've
what's-
seen much worse episodes of Raw than what was on Monday.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. A lot of people are still at home. There's no Monday Night Football. There's no sports to compete against. There's no Yankees, Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox game on, with a Monday Night Football.
If you'd like that, go on PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean, now's the time they should really be kicking it into high gear with the ratings and that.
There's no new shows on. There's
Nothing.
There's
no movies.
their biggest competition is Netflix.
And Hulu.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not like live. WWE's not even live right now. But
I think that has a lot to do with it. Is everybody's, finding on the dirt sheets what happens and stops watching. So, I know there's some controversy and all that with the COVID thing about, running live shows and
Right.
things like that. But I really think the spectacle of being live and anything can happen, obviously East Coast, West Coast timing, shows on the West Coast here are taped no matter what you think.
Yeah.
But, if you're watching the East Coast feed, things do happen, such
Right.
as, Bailey and Sasha in the middle of a match taking a break when they went to commercial. That was embarrassing on the East Coast feed. What, like a month or two ago when
That was
they-
like right when like one of the first shows
Yeah.
when like the pre-taped stuff started.
Yeah, the ladies all four of them took a break and were sitting there chit chatting, and they came back for commercial, and they're like, "Hello," you know.
Chief is finally home from work and in the house.
What's up, Chief?
It's about time, Chief. You know, I'm sorry. You know, you're late for the show, late for work. We had to have Jason do the bell. So anyway, moving on. Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair returned to Raw this week. I've missed Shayna.
Me too.
I didn't care, too much about Bianca.
Bianca Belair.
But Shayna, I think they dropped her quite quickly after the Money in the Bank match. There wasn't much after. She's gone. So
Well, you didn't even see her finish the Money in the Bank
No.
match. She kind of just went.
she found an elevator, just went home.
Apparently.
So I mean, why, Matt? Why did she just disappear? Get in the bad side of Vince, or
Reportedly, Vince just wasn't impressed by what she did or by her look or something. But
well, we know Vince is all into looks. I mean, so is Shane. But for those in the know, yes.
Right.
true. But I think she should have been like Raw Women's Champion already.
Well, especially with the dominating, performances in NXT and the just viciousness, with her and Becky, it was just gone.
So I get scared every time somebody gets called up from NXT because they can
It's
be
a
like
kiss
the
of
most.
death.
It's like the most. They could be like the most dominant person in NXT, biggest star. As soon as they get
Asuka?
to Raw,
It's starting to look that way. I mean, with Shayna Baszler, as much as everybody about her with NXT, she was a 2-time NXT Women's Champion there. She dominated on every aspect against Ember Moon, Kairi Sane. She was the dominating woman there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she came to Raw.
and she's gone.
Why did you give the belt to Asuka? You should have gave it to Shayna. She is still selling merchandise.
Right. And then, when Asuka came up, they did the whole presentation
Yep.
and, goodbye from NXT, the presentation coming into Raw, all the hoopla, and then Charlotte just, WrestleMania, that was it, and she'd been
Yeah.
on a downward spiral since.
It's just it looks like getting to what we were going to with NXT. Might as well stay there. Kevin Owens wants to return to NXT. That'd be a good.
I just don't think Kevin has the look or the character yet that he should have developed, and the same with Finn Balor.
Right.
So I'm just hoping that the kiss of death of coming up from NXT doesn't carry on. Somebody want to finish that?
Cross.
Yes.
I still can't figure out how WWE dropped the ball with Finn Balor.
With all the stuff that
Between like the merchandise, the look, the demon, like how can you possibly mess that up? He had to have done something backstage to like legit piss somebody off because he's got the moves, he got the look, he sells more merch. When he was NXT, everyone had freaking Finn Balor shirts on.
Well,
the demon figures sell out like as soon as they hit the
Right.
shelves.
But it also was right about the time that he came out and supported an organization. The LBGT,
Yeah.
where he came out in support of that, which God bless him for the support. I think it rubbed some people the wrong way in the back. Because in the back, you still got a lot of Hollywood people that also old school wrestlers that are still a little jaded. And I think that had some effect because it was right about that time matches started, bumping down from main event to mid card to opening, dark matches, things like that. Is it fair? Absolutely no, because he's a hell of a performer. And like you said, the character he had with the Raw and the main roster, I thought was awesome. Now it's pretty just vanilla.
Well, all the stuff too that Finn Balor used to do in the Indies, he'd come out as Venom, he'd come out as Punisher.
Yeah.
Like his painting of it on himself was amazing, and he had so many good ideas that I saw from the Indies that he could have accumulated in WWE, but they just said, eh.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, let's take another commercial break. I'm just really keeping him on his heels right now because we got about 25 minutes left in the show. Let's go to a commercial, but don't forget, if you're looking to advertise here for Thoughts Count Anywhere or Power Play Sports Collectibles, or you want to do your own show, why don't you come here to the Go Live studios? You can get a hold of us, and we can turn you on to the studio here at info@thoughtscountanywhere.com. Once again, we'll be back after this commercial break.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
Looking to advertise your small business at a low cost? Do you need your commercial designed or actually produced for you? Advertise on two of the hottest shows on the internet, Power Play Sports Collectibles and Thoughts Count Anywhere. Both shows with getting over 40,000 views per week for only one low cost. For more information, please email info@thoughtscountanywhere.com.
Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere here on a Wednesday night. I'm Scott Hosey. We got Jason Piper at the desk.
At the desk.
Not in your cage today. We got Matt Mullen. We got Aaron on the board over there, and we're having a great time without the other Aaron. We're just having a grand old dilly-o time.
Grand old time and a grand old opera.
Is he in like Parts Unknown where you are like
Yes.
half the time?
Yes, exactly.
Give him the key.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
He's in the mountain. Chief put a comment in the chat room about Pat Patterson, and don't you think they're past that? Pat's different,
Right.
in not that regard. I love Pat Patterson. He and I have known each other for many years with the CAC. Pat Patterson is gay, but he is a true gentleman. Absolutely a great mind and talent in the wrestling business. But you still have some people that think in different ways. And I really think that Pat's days of being the on-air scriptwriter are past him, so I don't think he has the pull he did. Back when Kurt Angle started coming in, I was sitting having dinner with Pat Patterson, and Kurt Angle came to dinner, and Pat leaned over to me and said, "Give me 6 months and I'll have every belt on that kid." And it was
He
6
literally
months.
had every belt on him, too.
Exactly. So, unfortunately, I think that, Pat is a figurehead, a good host, and God bless him. And, the years I had with Nick Bockwinkel and, Pat Patterson and, JR, JJ Dillon.
Gerald Briscoe.
I can't, I can't replace those gentlemen ever
Mean
in my life.
Gene.
Yeah. And any of these kids coming up, I'm sorry. You don't hold a candle to those guys.
No.
The one weekend I was at CAC and I had the picture. I had JR, JJ, and Pat Patterson all with me, all talking wrestling. And I looked at all three of them. I said, I have 1/3 each of you of Vince McMahon's brain. And at that time, that's what it was.
I remember that. Well, remember one night we were at like TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
And it was like me, Jason, JBL, Gerald Briscoe, JR, and somebody else. And I'm just looking around like, how
Where's
does this
Waldo?
even happen?
Yeah. Where's Waldo? And how the hell did I get
I was
here?
like, who doesn't belong? And
Yeah.
it's me.
Well, especially the stories that we were getting from JBL.
Yeah.
And the stories that he was talking about when he was there with Ron, and
Yeah.
the matches he was talking with Wes Briscoe about and Jerry Briscoe about. And it just was so much knowledge and so much history that was sitting there, and you're just like,
No,
funny-
I had 15 years of being on the board of CAC, all gone like that. Thank you, Mr. P. Brian Blair. Which,
Loser.
by the way, we have something for you.
The funniest part of that night was when like they were telling stories and some fan would just like randomly come up and try to interject and everyone would just stare at him very uncomfortably.
Yes. I
Until
think
they
all
would
of us.
leave. And then
Exactly.
we'd all laugh and continue stories.
I mean, when
was a-
AEW was here, I got to basically show for the Four Horsemen around with, exception of Flair not being there. But, Barry, Arn, Tully, JJ. And to Tully and JJ and I go to dinner, and we walk over, and Tully immediately starts talking to a gentleman in a wheelchair. It didn't click to me that was Magnum TA.
Oh, wow.
Great matches, and then all of a sudden it did click again that, that's the, for those in the know, Tully's ex-wife ended up with Magnum TA, and that's why, Tessa has the Magnum finisher, because she gives credit to both dad and stepdad for a lot of her career. But it was like, I kind of looked over at JJ, I'm kind of feeling, awkward, as you've said in the past. But they buried the hatchet, literally,
Yeah.
and they're great friends. They've had conversations together. They had a great seminar together talking about the I Quit match, and that's how you should do it. Bury the hatchet. But
Yeah, definitely.
those were great days. So
There's so many stories that you can.
oh yeah, I mean, going golfing many
Yeah.
times with Nick and Darlene Bockwinkel, and yes, for those in the know, Darlene could kick Nick's ass in the golf course. She still can too, but sweetheart of a lady.
That right
God
there
bless
is
her.
just. You can't say enough good things about Nick.
No.
And just in the little time that I had the privilege of meeting him because of you and me and Matt together, Nick was just so knowledgeable.
I worked for 3 of the coolest presidents of
Yes,
CAC.
you did. Yes, you
well,
did.
and I did get to see Archie Moore before he passed. He had already given up the presidency to Lou Thez. And then from Lou, went to Red Bastien, and then went to Nick Bockwinkel, and then went to hell.
Yeah. You're
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're pretty much right about that.
And I'm not embarrassed. Anybody wants to hear the story, I'll be happy to tell them. Yes. There'll be a
Scott at Thoughts Count Anywhere?
Yeah.
Text.
Oh, absolutely. And, recent conversations I've had with certain people, it could be interesting. So, anyway, we have a birthday this week. I usually put the birthday at the end of the show, but we have a birthday this week of one Karrion Kross. Future? What? Finish.
NXT champion?
WWE champion.
Awesome.
Whatever he wants to be.
Hall of
he's gonna
Famer?
be.
I could see it in the future, yes. I hate nothing against Kevin, Killer, Karrion. We all know him here. Chief knows him very well also. Thanks, Chief. I appreciate it, Scott, for CAC president. But
my vote.
I don't like putting the moniker of Hall of Famer on young superstars.
Right.
Just because injuries can happen and just derail their career. Not that he does not have talent, because he is, in my opinion, the most talented on the NXT roster right now. But realistically, I don't want to give him that, because to me it's like a jinx.
He can.
Yeah.
One thing about Kross that we all agree upon, he can and will be a multi-champion.
Yeah, absolutely. And
He's gonna
they're
be
playing the character right with him. The whole thing with Keith Lee winning the belt, and then him being up in the sky box, and just him and Scarlett staring down. Perfect.
He's going to be a champion a lot sooner than later.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Karrion, and hello, Scarlett. You guys are doing awesome. Keep up the good work.
Definitely.
Thank you. Booker T interviewed Adam Cole, comparing him to HBK, saying that he could be the next Mr. WrestleMania.
If they mess up the call up with Adam Cole, I will lose my mind. He's like probably one of the best wrestlers on this planet.
I'm glad they referenced HBK, because Sean did not have size.
Right.
That's the one thing that Vince
True.
has always gone for, the 6'5", built like a brick shit house, wrestler. And
Yeah.
Obviously Sean had a good physique, but he was not by any stretch that size.
He wasn't big.
We're taller than Shawn Michaels. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But Sean had the showmanship. He had the charisma. And
Yes.
that's what that Adam Cole shows that same exact thing. And Adam Cole can tear it up on the mic.
And I really think if they keep the group together and call them all up at the same time, you could have a new clique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really hope so.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I really think that's great. And why am I hearing ringing in my ears? Is our ghost back?
Other producer didn't turn his tablet down.
Wow.
He's slipping.
It's what happens when you go that way. Or
Maybe
vote
we should
that way.
check his temperature.
Yeah, here. I'm going to be a stormtrooper and not hit anything, okay? So anyway, also with the studio, don't forget, you can do a show here at Thoughts Count Anywhere, here at the Go Live Vegas studio location.
Yeah.
Parts unknown.
Parts
But,
unknown.
For those interested in doing shows here, they do take your temperature. They also sterilize the entire studio between shows. So don't worry about social distancing and things like that. We're all safe. We get quarantined till next week, but that's okay. But no, come on down here to Go Live Vegas studio and produce your own show. And I think you can have an awesome time. I mean, you got the monitors here, you got the professional organization, and we give Aaron a little shit now and then just because we love him. Because if we didn't, we just wouldn't talk to him.
He is good at what he does.
So I got to go this way now because he's put it on the wrong side. There we go. But don't forget the QR code there on the bottom right-hand corner. He's doing something. He scares the crap out of me half the time. I don't know what he's doing. But right there.
Bounces from computer to computer.
Yes, exactly. Right there, the QR code. You click on that with your phone, with your tablet, the camera on your tablet, phone, whatever you want to call it, and it takes you right to thoughtscountanywhere.com where you can see the latest and greatest pro wrestling news, notes, rumors.
Huh?
Sponsorship, yes. Don't forget, you can, like that Power Play Sports Collectibles show.
Yes.
And store. And no, that's over.
Whoops.
Hey, man, we can't start that again.
Wow, there we go. Don't forget, Power Play Sports Collectibles. We are airing every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. I will be here with Aaron Phillips. And then right after that, well, we have an hour break. We have Our House, Our Voice, The Fan. For those fans out there that need a voice in the sports industry. And Aaron also has Twin Brothers on the network here. He also has Time for Vegas.
Time for Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, I think I covered them all.
I think so.
You done good.
I passed the test. Aaron, you can stay down and have a Sue.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, Chief agreed. It says Kevin has to earn that moniker of Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go in WWE
absolutely.
for...
And you know what? I don't want him to be that Hall of Famer where people go, huh?
Yeah.
Because Vince has put in some Hall of Famers, and unfortunately, it's got some of them I question. So, but anyway,
And then of course
Like
you got
Brian
one.
Blair's pick for the Hall of Fame.
he's not. Yeah, exactly. Kevin Owens, you did say earlier, wants to return to NXT. Good move or bad move? We talked about it. He needs work, but
He needs work, but
his character needs work.
I think he was just moved. Kevin's good at what he does, and
He needs a good dance partner.
true, and they took him away from Sammy,
Yeah.
and that team right there was one of the best, one of the great teams that were there. But I think they gave Kevin that push way too fast with the Universal title, and like his title reigns were just way too fast after the NXT title. They could have worked a little bit more with him.
I can see that.
I think
And-
he's just big enough of a name that would draw people to NXT and give him better opponents like Karrion Kross,
Yeah.
Keith Lee's. I can see him doing a bunch of cool matches with a lot of those guys compared to...
I just think his character is kind of very vanilla with the sleeveless T-shirt and I mean, he doesn't have the physique to do the trunks and things like that.
Right.
But it just looks like he's woke out of bed and decided to come to a wrestling match. So I think they really need to develop a character.
That's how he's been since the Indies, though. It's like
Yeah.
if you're a Kevin Owens fan, it's just what
Exactly.
you expect. He's been like that since Kevin Steen.
Yeah, true, very
I
true.
mean, he had a great match with Cena, and Cena was working really well with him.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it just kind of went.
Very true. And speaking of Owens, they had a confrontation with Vince about the COVID protocols. So yeah, you don't want to piss where you eat. The protocols are: if you found without a mask, you get a $500 fine. Second time is $1,000. Well, it's sort of like a seatbelt, in my opinion. Take the 10 seconds and click, or put on the mask when you're around people that you need to social distance from.
True.
Spend the 10 seconds. It's worth it. You might not be saving your life, but you could be saving someone else's.
Absolutely.
And that is my public service announcement for the day.
I would take the fine to not social distance around Alexa Bliss.
You'll just get her another set of Disney ears, won't you?
Duh.
You'll buy the whole shop.
# Disney.
Exactly.
I can literally see this. You
You didn't catch that, did you? I did. Easter egg.
Yeah, Easter egg. He'll be buying every single one of them from Star Wars to, and his own ears.
He's just wanting to hold ears. It came out loud, didn't it? So speaking of someone, a friend of our show, a friend of Power Play, Sunny. Unfortunately, she was arrested yet again.
Shocker.
No, I met Sunny a number of years ago, and she had cleaned herself up. She was dating the detective from the New Jersey Police Department, and he really got her away from the drugs and alcohol, got her away from pro wrestling. And, obviously her demons came from that.
Right.
And, she started doing the trading card shows and the little public appearances, and he really protected her. And unfortunately, a few years later, she got back into the indie scene and decided to dump the detective cop boyfriend, and unfortunately got mixed up with the wrong crowd, and demons came back. And I do wish her the best. I give Vince all the credit in the world. He has paid for her rehab, I think 6 times now. So people who diss on Vince McMahon, he does really try to take care of people who are in need of help like that. And unfortunately, she's been arrested again.
No,
and it's sad.
It's a we joke around, but no, Sunny is a very, very good sweetheart, friend of Thoughts Count. We've all seen her.
Yeah.
She goes out of her way for the fans, but like you said, she's got demons just like like we keep saying. All these wrestlers have demons, and they came back to bite her.
Yeah.
But we wish her all the best.
Absolutely. So we talked about a little bit earlier, that Brock Lesnar is turning 43 this week. We could care less about his birthday. It's all about Karrion. Who, by the way,
we're not biased or anything.
Yeah. So, by the way, I heard that I think Kevin posted on here, or Karrion posted it on his Twitter page. His dream match would be against Brock Lesnar.
I would love to see that match, honestly.
Chief, your thoughts? They count everywhere. Not anywhere, but everywhere. Anyway, Jeff Hardy also wants to return, and his bucket list would to be face Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt before he retires. I think those would be some good matches.
Hell yeah, I really want to see those.
Bray, for his size, is very agile. He reminds me a lot, and I don't know if you guys remember him, but Jerry Blackwell from the old AWA. He was 465 pounds, and he had little bird legs, but it was huge upstairs, and he could do a drop kick with the best of them. So, I really, Bray has that, big, well, he's lost a lot of weight over the past year, but you do that when you run around and chase your kids at home.
Right.
But needless to say, he is a big guy, and, he's very agile and can do some great moves. And with Jeff's acrobatic style, I think that'd be a hell of a match.
Not only the match would be good, but the promos between Brother Nero and The Fiend would probably be
that would bring
something crazy.
And too bad a contract couldn't be up and they both could be deleted. That would be awesome.
Well,
hell yeah.
What about Willow and The Fiend?
Yeah, that too.
Exactly.
I mean, Willow was one of the most demented characters Jeff ever came up with, and it was
since The Fiend or Bray seems to get creative freedom around WWE.
Jeff
If him and Jeff pitch that could be a ratings boost they desperately need.
Could you imagine the tag team?
Yeah.
Of that, that would be unbelievable. What we would see.
Hey, Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
Steal our ideas, please.
Yes. ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com. So Chief has mentioned that I need to go to WWE.com and buy a new shirt.
There's a new Cross shirt.
And Karrion has told Chief, who is a good friend of Karrion Kross also, Brock and The Rock.
That'd be a good match. Cross.
Brock and The Rock.
Brock are his two dream opponents.
Cross and The Rock. That'd be a great match.
That would be. As good as Karrion is on in the ring, he's even better on the mic.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got about 5 minutes left in the show or something of that nature. So let's get on with the Impact news. Okay, we're done. First of all, Brian Cage, who'd he pay off? I'm sorry. Okay, next. Impact, by the way, I don't think they sent the wedding gift, but congratulations to the still, in my opinion, Impact champion Tessa Blanchard and Daga, who are getting ready to get married soon.
Congrats.
Yeah, absolutely, two great individuals, and I wish them all the best. And Bischoff compares Jericho, and I guess we're doing Impact and AEW because both of them have a little news. But Bischoff compares Jericho signing with AEW as Hulk Hogan with WCW. I do have to agree I don't agree with a lot of Bischoff says, but at the time,
right.
he was AEW signing Jericho, gave it some stability and also some
Gave it some like validation.
Yeah,
almost,
exactly.
like-
You know, because John Moxley doesn't, because everybody knows him as Dean Ambrose.
Right.
But Chris Jericho has the name of Chris Jericho all through his career, you know, except Lionheart and things like that early on. But he brings that validity to AEW, and I really think they should have kept the belt on him for a little longer.
Yeah.
And him and Moxley could have gone at it for a longer storyline than they did.
Well, it's like you said, one person should not have the belt.
Yep. Or creative control.
Exactly.
You're not your dad. Oh, we have seen, what is that? Oh, that is awesome.
Time's up. TikTok.
Time's up, TikTok.
Which is what he
Great. And I'm
signed.
sitting here and I
Yep.
can't order online. You know, wife took away the credit card. No, she
Uh-oh.
didn't. So, with AEW and Impact, who do you think is the mystery opponent for Summer Slam or Slammiversary? I always hated that name. Title match. You know where my pick is. And that's Bully Ray.
I could totally see that, but they've been teasing
Aces
like
and
every
eights.
former
Well, they've
like
been,
WWE person. I
Right.
think it's either Bully Ray or it's probably EC3.
Heath Slater.
he's got to feed the kids.
He's got to feed the kids.
But just with D'Lo,
But he's got to feed his kids. Why would he go to Impact? They
Yeah,
don't pay
exactly.
anybody.
Exactly. But realistically, you think about with D'Lo making the calls and saying, "Get the band back together, aces and eights." I could see that. And Bully Ray or Dudley just recently got out of Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
so he's available. So
Or Mr. Anderson.
I don't think he has the charisma that he doesn't have the name verification that he had with Mr. Kennedy.
No, but he was good with the old school mic, and he did draw.
Yeah.
So I
Knowing
mean,
Impact, they're just using old WWE names to try to get some kind of like attention.
Yeah.
Watch it just be some person they already have on their roster, just to waste everybody's time and to irritate everybody just a little more.
Moose.
All I can
I
tell
will
you,
legit lose my crap if it's Moose.
all I can tell you is there's not a single man on that roster that took the belt from Tessa.
Nope.
And still, I don't care what happens.
Yes, still the Impact champion. Rusev and Lana have both tested positive for COVID.
Actually, it's the parents.
Oh, parents.
Rusev
And Lana's
parents have. I don't know if Lana
Well,
hasn't
Lana-
been on TV, so
It's possible.
Well, she's been with, the other half.
yeah.
It's a storyline, folks, okay? Rusev and Lana are married, and they're happily married. So whatever you think, it is what it is. So 90-day compete clause. For all the talent, we talked about that. Mass firings seem to expire. So a lot of them are funneling back if they want to. So,
Hopefully, I want to see where Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins end up.
yeah. Pop culture. Let's hit this real quick. Let's see. You take the top one because it's kind of downer for me.
Yeah, it kind of sucked. Naya Rivera passed away. She was boating with her kid, and apparently something like the tide or whatever current took them, and she had enough energy, I guess, to get her kid back on the boat, but
God bless her for that.
she couldn't end up back on the boat, and they found her body.
Tangled in.
They found her body on the anniversary. The other star of that same show died.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's kind of crazy.
And the Washington Redskins are officially changing their name and logo to be announced later. And
And the Rose Parade is canceled in 2021.
just went right
Right
past
there.
that. Yeah, the Rose Bowl Parade is being canceled
I
for
wasn't touching that with a
2021.
10-foot drive
Yeah,
shaft.
exactly. And the Rose Parade, there's only been 3 times before that it was canceled. 41, 42, and 45 during World War II. It was canceled back then. So, and Chief puts God rest her soul. Yes, absolutely. And his wife took away the credit card also. So with that being said, I see red lights.
I guess it's time for us to say adieu.
Adieu. Matt, last thoughts?
Everybody be safe out there. It's super hot. Stay hydrated. I don't know how many ambulances I've already had to call this week of people just falling over
They
from the
answered
heat.
they answered the 911 call?
Yeah.
Okay.
They haven't defunded anything yet.
Okay, yeah, yet. Breathe. Told you this chair was not going to be politically correct today.
Be safe. Alcohol is not water. Drink lots of water.
Technically, it is.
Technically, it is.
AA Ron, behind the desk. Any last comments out of you?
Just want to say thank you for you guys for having a good time and a good show.
We paid him, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
That's why he said it.
With that being said, for Matt, for Jason, for AA Ron, and for Aaron Phillips, who is enjoying his vacation and rightly deserved, I'm Scott Hosey. We will catch you next week on
Thoughts Gone Anywhere.
Have a good night, folks.
Pace and chicken grease.
For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard Mall.
So guys, Jeff Cobb here.
Come
I am
check out
Ricardo
Rodriguez, and I
Play
want
Sports
every single
Collectibles.
person
Buy
out
some
there
collectibles,
to
buy
watch
some
my very favorite
wrestling
show.
figures, and all that fun
Counts
stuff.
Anywhere. Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.